What is happening, people? I hope you have had a fantastic weekend. Welcome to another episode of Rags to Riches. In the last video, of course, you saw a bit of midweek madness and redeeming a couple of streaks. And in the video here today, we've got some more midweek lineups to go out. But of course, we're going to see the results of our weekend performance and, of course, prepare for the next weekend. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do show me by leaving a like. Subscribe if you're new. Let's get into Rags to Riches for the week. So it's that time of the week to look at our results over the last weekend and see what went wrong, what went right, and how we can improve and do better. And I will start off by saying, here is our La Liga sides, and we got super unfortunate. And you know what? I feel like this is the perfect one to show to kick the episode off today, because I kind of think this was just the theme of the squads this game week. And of course, last video we had so much success with all the streaks and midweek success and all the good stuff, and then you have a look at this. Yeah, I know if any of you guys also owned Valencia, you probably got stung the same way that I did. But we had a Odi Aziz clean sheet with a Carmona assist, and then Valencia game cooled off. So yeah, we get relegated with the first team, which is never what you want to see. The second team just didn't really do much. We captained the right guy, and somehow I'm saying that, even though he had an error led to goal, it seems like Catena is just incredible no matter what. And then yeah, again, the third team. We kind of knew the third and fourth team were not really going to do anything, which is kind of annoying, especially looking at the Real Sociedad defender here, who got 2 clearances off the line. But yeah, I don't know. Just no AA. I don't know. The whole weekend was just a weird one. You can see some great scores, but obviously just not put in the right team together. I think even in the perfect world, our score would never have been that great, because our best forward was only 42. So if there's anything to take away from La Liga, is that maybe forward department needs a bit of improvement. However, you've got to take into account that 2 of our forwards are from Valencia, who didn't play. We also have Rabah, who didn't. Is just, I don't even know what's happening with him. And we also have Alphon, who's injured. So I feel like we do have the forwards. It's just not going right at the moment, which is fine. And then we move on to the next couple of teams. Then we have the JPL stuff, which again just didn't click right. So Skoras had a fantastic score. However, we captained Kadri, of course, because what he's done for us the past couple of game weeks, and yeah, just the wrong captain choice. However, the defender did let us down in the end anyways, and we miss out on the hot streak, which this one was for 400, so it would have been, you know, quite would have pretty much paid the entire JPL if we did manage to hit it. And you can see both teams done pretty well, just not 400 well, so it is what it is. Then Eredivisie carried on in the same. You know, this story has been the same so far this season. JPL does well, Eredivisie doesn't do well, and it just is what it is. You can see just not great. 20 conceding 2 is yeah, kind of killed the lineup. So yeah, not much happening there. And then yeah, this is the Challenger boys again. Very disappointing. Wrong captain, a DMP in there, and just yeah, everything that could have went wrong went wrong. Same with the second team. I guess this second team wasn't as bad, just the wrong captain choice again. So seems to be a common occurring theme here with the captains being a poor choice. And then we move on to the contender team, where we picked the wrong captain. And yeah, we actually scored very well here, 370. We were 10 off of the next streak, which would have been solved if I had captained the right guy, but obviously I didn't. And I think this was our only lineup this game week that actually yielded us essence, so that kind of sums up the teams this week. The second team was good, except we got DMP. Matt Target didn't have the best of games either, and then yeah, third team, we knew the goalkeeper was going to DMP. So then the only lineups we had left were the under-23 team, which again, Molero scoring off the bench, Damrot's actually playing even though he wasn't on to play, and scoring 93. I think that just kind of sums up the weekend for me. Yeah, nothing really to write home about here, other than Romsas actually starting as well, even though he wasn't on start and scored well. So I think, yeah, we just got unlucky. We draw the short straw in the game week just gone, and yeah, this was the All Star as well, which again we're never really expecting too much out of. And something to note is Warlison did come off the bench because our Cercle Bruges goalkeeper may be injured. So yeah, I guess that's all she wrote for the game week just gone. And whilst the game week was undergoing, I did sign two new players for the series, and that is because I feel like in some of these teams we are lacking the classic smasher. So I just picked up two classic cards that I think are great. We have them on the under 23 Road to Glory as well. So, and I looked at them, I looked at their scores, and I was like, you know what, for a pound, I think I paid a poundish for both of them. Well, obviously I'll show you on the spreadsheet in a second, but Arnstad is a good challenger card that I got in because I feel like he's captain level in challenger, and then vice versa with contender. We just needed contender forwards to be fair. And Niall actually we swapped for Mohamed Nasso, sorry, the guy that we don't really use in Eredivisie. So yeah, you can see here. Here is our yield for the game week that I just went over. Literally just actually, the best thing that we did get is 300 essence from the missions, and I think that was I can't remember. I can't even remember what the mission was, to be honest. But we did get 300 essence, so we'll take it. You have to just take my word. It was like a challenge. I think it was like an underdog one where one of your players had to score 75 or more. And obviously we got that over the line, which is fantastic. And yeah, so that means we get 400 essence, which obviously is not the best considering last week we got nearly 2,000. However, it does mean that we now have 1,200 essence in total, which means we can do another craft. And as I just discussed there, the players that we did bring in is Omarovic. You can't see him because my camera is in the way, but there we go, move that just there. And Arnstad for £1.83. So we'll add them to the series and hopefully they can get the job done. And then you can see here, if I move my camera back, we are entering the midweek, so I thought I would show you guys the teams. We have managed to field a European team, under 23 All-Star, and then of course we've got a little segment for the missions if we should hit any. But before we quickly discuss that, I will say also there has been a notification out saying that there will be a special craft. So if you craft between 8 p.m. and 12 p.m. on Tuesday, then you have I think it's guaranteed Champions League card. So we will be crafting Tuesday evening, and of course you guys are going to see that after I've shown you the midweek teams, because we do have enough to craft one guy. So yeah, hopefully it's a good one. Team 1 then for the European leagues, we're going with this. To be honest, we don't really have much choice. The only good thing about this is that we've got 8% on it. So hopefully it gets something. I will say this is just a hyper competitive competition. Yeah, 11,000 entries. I don't think we're going to get anywhere, to be honest. But you got to be in it to win it. We might as well go for it. I was debating just putting these boys elsewhere, maybe under 23s or something like that. But then I thought, nah, you know what? Let me just throw them in and hope for the best. What's the point? It's a bit boring just doing that. Might as well go for the big dog. And then yeah, then we got the Rags. Sorry, not Rags to Riches. We got the All-Star team. Again, this isn't even really Rags to Riches, to be honest. It's just I don't even know what the right word is. It's just a bit of Rags to Riches in there for XP, but I thought I would show it on the screen. And we also have Rags to Riches just spread over the under 23s, just so you guys know. It's mainly for XP reasons. And then we have the rest of the boys in All-Star. So yeah, hopefully we get anything over the midweek. Again, I'm not really too... I'm not expecting much from the midweek, but we do have a Champions League craft to claim. Let's go. During the month of October, I'll be giving away £10 to a lucky subscriber, and if you're a member, I'll be doubling it. All you need to do to enter is click subscribe down below. Yes guys, so it's been brought to my attention that the special craft is actually 2,000 essence, and as you guys seen in the previous clip, we only have 1,200 essence on the series. However, I think it's going to be pretty boring if we don't craft a UCL card. I know that you guys watching this will want to see a UCL craft. So what I'm going to do is I'm still just going to craft that 2,000 essence, and I'm going to say that the series is in debt essentially 800 essence, and of course whenever we earn that probably over this game week, we'll just take that off. But yeah, you know, it's a bit of fun. Why not? I'm sure not many of you will disagree with the choice to do that in the comments, and if you do, then I'm sorry, but it's just a bit of fun at the end of the day. And I've also got a list of all of the Champions League teams to help me maybe decide if it, you know, if we do get a really good room. Let's go. Come on. Ooh. Okay, just a standard room, so I'm not going to use my... I only have one league reveal. I'm not going to waste too much time. It's just a standard room. I'm just going to default to my number one because I'm just picking number one all the time now. Since Van Dijk, for those of you guys that don't know, I crafted a Van Dijk and he was in number one, and now I'm just picking number one for the rest of the year, really. Essentially, I've kind of committed to it now. I feel like I have to do it, so come on. Oh, of course. Who do we miss out on then? Okay. Obviously, a shame to not get the Newcastle player. Fran Garcia came off the bench and scored the other day, actually. Jed is decent as well, to be fair. Yeah. Asula would have been nice, of course, of course. Do you know what? I am very tempted as well just to return my essence. Because I don't think Ben Davies is selling, to be honest. Yeah, we'd be lucky. We would be lucky. So I am going to return the essence. 400 essence, why not? We'll return it, because that means technically we are not in debt by as much now on the series, because we have returned 400 back. So essentially we will have 400 essence in debt, and we don't gain anything, which is a bit of a shame, but I guess that's just the luck of the draw. None of them picks were really that good. I think if I was... Would I have even... I don't even know if I would have not done that to any of them. Maybe Jed Spencer would have kept, because I quite like him. I think he's a good player. The rest of them, not the best, though. But yeah, there we have it. There is our Champions League craft for Rags to Riches. Now we've got some business to do and some lineups to build. If you are new to Sorare and you want to support a small creator in myself, then I would really appreciate if you use my link in the description down below to sign up. And of course, you'll receive all the best referral / welcome bonuses using the link down below in the description. Thank you. Okay, so it's time to look at the results for our midweek, and yeah, just before we get into the weekend's deadlines and our lineup building phase, I do want to show you guys, yeah, what happened this midweek. And unfortunately, this, you know, overperformer picker has already sort of made me forget who I picked, and I'm hoping, yes, okay, Lo Celso, of course, is part of Rags to Riches. That means we do earn 100 essence in the midweek for the missions, which is fantastic, because of course we are in a little bit of essence debt on the series, as you guys have just seen. We get some more XP as well, so there we go. So what we're going to be doing now is rounding off the results. So what we're going to do is add 100 essence, oh sorry, wrong one, there we go. We'll add 100 essence to for our missions. So we're currently at minus 300 essence. Oh no, 300. I'm just going to put essence for now. I'm not going to waste your guys' time typing all of these out. But yeah, let's have a look to see how we got on then. So first things first, we are currently, as things stand, not getting anything, which is a bit unfortunate considering how good our captain choice was. But yeah, Mitov conceding 3 is not the best, and we were, for a little while, we were on to score some decent essence, but looks like we've dropped out of it now. And yeah, no one really done that much, to be fair, other than Lo Celso. So of course we will add that into our spreadsheet, and of course I'll make it look a little bit nicer once I'm finished recording. But there we go, 500 XP is what we yield. And then the under 23 suit, I don't think we got anything. I actually think, yeah, I did actually cancel. That wasn't even that one. Sorry, this is the Rags to Riches. We didn't get anything. Obviously, we don't expect it. But we did score 323, so I'll add that to the notes. 323, there we go. And then last but not least was the All-Star. And again, oh, and there you go. We actually do manage to get 100 essence, and we probably will maintain that because most of the games are finished now. And that is thanks to a Chris Mentham captain, of course. What an absolute legend he has been for the series so far. So we get 100 more essence. I'm just going to add 100 like that just so I remember to change it. And that means we are currently on minus 200 essence. So hopefully we make that back over this game week and we won't be in essence debt anymore. And before we build our lineups this game week, I do want to say I did pick up another card for the gallery, and that is Maxime Delangue. And the reason for that is because when I done the preliminary builds for the next part of the video, I realised that we actually just need a goalkeeper, a classic goalkeeper in JPL to have a third lineup. Although the lineup is obviously pretty weak, I thought, you know what, let's just get the cheapest possible goalkeeper that we can. And tell you what, £2.62 for a starting classic JPL goalkeeper, I'll take it. It just means we get another shot at potentially hitting the streak. So yeah, we paid £2.60. Oh, it actually says, okay, so alright, so we'll change that to £2.62. When I did initially buy it, it did say £2.60, but I think they sometimes change. But anyway, doesn't really matter. And yeah, so the plan for the next game week and the lineup building phase, which you guys are about to see, is to field all of these lineups. And like I said, I have done preliminary builds to try and make sure that we can build all of these teams, and we should be able to be honest. So looking forward to that, and of course I'm going to be taking you guys over all of our lineups after the deadline tomorrow. Yes, guys, so we are here to round off Rags to Riches for the video here today. And yeah, just to kick things off in the last little segment, then we did actually manage to sell one of our rewards for, you know, from quite a couple of game weeks ago now. I think this was 2 or 3 episodes ago. We sold him for 60p. He's not really on to play at the moment. He could potentially become a starter in the future, but we just need a bit more money in the bank. So yeah, we sold him, as you can see here, for 60p, and yeah, brings us up to £1.70 in the wallet and minus 200 essence. And yeah, before we get into the lineup builds, I do want to reveal some cards with you guys today, because some of them have been given their faces or whatever now. So yeah, let's see if we get any specials for the series. First one is no special, that's fine. Continue, and then I think this is the only other one, Robin Proper, who is in a good team this weekend, and he is not a special card, and that is completely fine with me. Would have been nice, of course, for collection bonus if we did, and the rest of these are not. You know, we do have Odi Aziz in this series, but we do not want to reveal him because he's part of a good collection at the moment. And you can see there's only 10 minutes left of this deadline, and I'm going to be running you guys through Rags to Riches stuff here. And you can see this is the La Liga setup that we are going for. Very much stacked on the first team and the second team, with the third and fourth team just being in there to be in there. Not expecting much from the third and fourth team, maybe some XP if we're lucky, but the first 2 teams hopefully get the streak for us, and we are on the first streak for La Liga after we got reset because Valencia game did not get played, unfortunately. Moving on to JPL, again, first 2 teams are, you know, the more important ones. However, we have just had news, unfortunately, that Delangue might not be in goal, which is not ideal because, yeah, he's at 60%, and the other goalkeeper is the one we just revealed, I believe. But it's like, do you want to take that risk? Yeah, you can see 40%. To be honest, guys, if Delangue doesn't play, we're just going to have to firm that L because I don't really fancy playing the backup. We could potentially play the backup in one of them, but then that would confirm 100% that one of them is going to die, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's a smart thing to do. Yeah, I'm not too sure where to go with that one. Maybe we'll have a little look into that after we, yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure. What would you guys have done? Confirmed that one of them's gonna die, or do I split my odds? I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, this is the Eredivisie stuff. Again, second team is not very hopeful of anything. We've gone all in on the first team, and yeah, the second team is leftovers. And then Challenger, pretty much the same. All in on the first team. Our forward position looking very slim in Challenger this week, so I won't be surprised if the forward position lets us down in one of these teams. Of course, you'll have to come back to next episode to see what happens there. Contender, third team is just in there to get XP, hopefully. The first two teams actually look decent on paper, so maybe we could continue, maybe we could hit the streak in Contender the next game week, or this game week, next video, of course. And then, yeah, the last but not least, for the squads, we have an all-star team. Like I said, we have Warlison in there for the all-star team, and yeah, that is literally it. I think Anel is on for probably a decent score. Oh, Rots is actually 90% on to play now. Very interesting. So we might have to. We really, that means we definitely have to be putting Damrots into a better team for sure. It's just where maybe we go. Oh, that does change things, guys. That does change things for sure. Because that's such a favourable fixture as well. Yeah, do you know what? I'll cut back when I've come to the conclusion. So with 2 minutes spare, we shuffle around the pack. Delangy does end up in the All-Star team, and Miguel Rodriguez comes in. And the reason for that is because I decided to split my odds in JPL. One of these teams is going to be a DMP. However, at least it confirms that we have two JPL teams as opposed to just the one. If Delange didn't start, what would you prefer? To 100% have two teams, or risk it and have three or one? I think I'd rather just make sure I have two teams. So we've gone with that in JPL. And Eredivisie changes slightly. We give Sabari the armband, we put Damrots in the main team, and we put his brother in the second team there. So hopefully Twente have a good game week. I'm hoping Damrots gets a decisive as well as Sabari, and then we should be able to hit the streak in Eredivisie. And then yeah, pretty much the players that we don't use, Delangi and Rodriguez, just fall into the All-Star team. And that is us wrapped up for this game week. Yes, so there you guys have it. There is Rags to Riches wrapped up for another week. Of course, a couple of changes in there at the deadline, and it's always going to happen with these budget teams, especially when they play midweek. As you guys have saw some of the lineup building and results in this video, a few of our players are playing midweek, so it makes it that little bit harder when it comes to time, team building on the weekend. Of course, come back to the next Rags to Riches episode to see just how well we managed to get on with them lineup building there. If you guys did enjoy the video today, please do show me by leaving a like, rating, subscribe if you're new, and we'll catch you guys in a future video. Peace.